So there's a couple things I want to talk about in today's video. And if I do sound winded in this video, I do apologize. I went to the gym today, so a little tired than normal in the video. Why I haven't been discussing leaks in quite a while. I've been seeing Acheron all over my page on YouTube. I've been seeing Acheron all over my Reddit page. I've been seeing Acheron all over my Twitter page. No matter what I do, I can't escape the Acheron. And even when I go to the comment section for the videos, people are like, why are you not rolling for Acheron? Are you going to roll for Acheron? I understand she is in the beta right now for the game. There's beta going on, I'm sure. I'm sure that she has leaks everywhere, right? I've seen tons of leaks because unfortunately they're thrown all at me on YouTube, on Twitter, everywhere I go, Reddit, leaks everywhere, right? So it's really hard to avoid them. And I'm sure she has amazing, beautiful animations. I'm sure she has an amazing kit. I'm sure she has synergy with some characters that you probably haven't been able to use with other characters as much. And I'm sure she has an amazing damage output with those same characters. But I don't care. I've never really cared about power in Honkai Star Rail. I mean, I play Mono Quantum. That is the least powerful composition in the game. It's a comp centered around just being versatile no matter where you go. And that's what I like about it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's easy to build. It's brain dead. And that's all I want in a team comp. I never really cared about power in Honkai Star Rail because, quite frankly, power is always increasing in this game when it comes to damage dealers. And there's damage creep, right? There's not power creep, but there's damage creep. Future characters are doing more damage than past characters. You have characters releasing to allow characters previously to do more damage. Think of Sparkle and Daniel, right? Daniel's now doing a ton of more damage with Sparkle. I know I'm speaking like a week ahead from now because Sparkle hasn't released in Honkai Star Rail, but she's going to release in a week from now. And you'll see how much stronger Daniel has become because of a future release of a support that feels a lot more tailor-made for the character, right? And even situations like that is enough for me to not pull for power. Because what if my favorite team, my favorite character in the game is going to receive a support in the future that allows that character to do more damage than they were able to previously do, thus bringing the gap lower from this damage dealer to the best damage dealer in the game. That's the beauty of a live service gacha game. You never know what they're going to release. And I think Hoyoverse is doing a great job right now at lowering the gap between very strong oppressive characters like Jingliu and characters that are not as oppressive like Seal, for instance, right? That have a very high risk, high reward playstyle, right? And they're kind of lowering that gap between both characters. And I think that's very nice. Now, the thing is about Jingliu compared to Acheron, because I'm sure a lot of you are probably like, wow, what character is going to be the strongest damage dealer after the release of Acheron? Is Acheron going to be stronger than Jingliu? I've been seeing this quite a bit on Reddit particularly, and this is what you should take into consideration before anything else. What do both characters want to do? Well, they both want to do damage, of course, but one character does damage differently versus another character. Jingliu, for instance, doesn't use as many skill points as Acheron, which means her team comps is slightly more flexible. You can put her with another damage dealer. You can put her with another Harmony character that is skill point negative, like Bronya, for instance. And that's because, well, this character is able to utilize a character that takes skill points because she doesn't consume as many skill points. But I'm sure Acheron is not going to be she's an agility, right? She's not going to be a character of the destruction path that does not consume skill points to do damage. I'm sure she's going to have to use elemental skill every single turn because that's been the gist for every character outside of the, aside from Topaz, she's exception to the rule here, outside of the destruction path, right? But with that being said, we have no idea what character is going to be better because they both have different roles in their teams, right? Now, obviously, of course, you build the teams around said character if you plan to use characters hypercarry, and I think that's how most people play the damage dealers in Honkai Star Rail. You have two Harmony characters, you have a Harmony and a Agility. You build your team around the damage dealer to make the damage dealer deal as much damage as they can. You don't really care about sub DPS and all that jazz. You just want to deal as much damage as you can with said damage. And I think that's how most people play Honkai Star Rail. So obviously what I'm saying is going to go out the window because most people, when they get Acheron, they're going to just probably throw her with a bunch of Harmony characters, assuming the character is able to use Harmony characters and maybe other characters of the paths, right? All this is irrelevant for the vast majority of players in this game. But with that being said, that's the beauty of Honkai Star Rail. You can play the game exactly how you want. If you don't play hypercarry when you log in every day, you can play hypercarry when you log in every day. If you want to play dual DPS teams, you can play dual DPS teams. And I think the beauty of the dual DPS team is that it hasn't been fleshed out as much as other teams. We are going to receive Aventurine, which is going to be a nice character of Topaz most likely, right? Because they're both affiliated with one another. I would assume that they have synergy with one another. So her team is going to become a lot better and it'll feel more fleshed out. And then we have another playstyle to add to the playstyles we already have in the game. Hyper carry, dual DPS, follow up. I guess those go hand in hand, right? We have the mono quantum team. We have other teams like the dot playstyle, which is now fleshed out with the release of Black Swan. So you can literally play whatever you want and get tons of value because Hoyoverse is making all of these teams relatively balanced around one another. And I think that's one of the most redeeming factors of the team building in this game. But why do I like Mono Quantum so much? Because I talk about it all the time, and I just said it's not the strongest team in the game, and it probably won't ever be the strongest team. I just hit my mic. It probably won't ever be the strongest team in the game. And why do I even move my hands when I talk? I hit my mic again. Why do I move my hands when I talk and I don't have face cam on? I don't know why I do this. It's just a force of habit. Why do I talk about Mono Quantum all the time, even though it's not the strongest team in the game? Well, because again, I enjoy it. But another thing too is it's top tier, but not top tier for the reason you think it is. It's top tier because it's more accessible. There is different variations for the team. It is accessible in all contents. No matter where you go, it's going to perform the same. And those same characters you had in the Mono Quantum team, you can use outside of the team, and they have value, if not the same value, in other teams, which I really enjoy. And every single character at that. The only characters in the team that don't have the same value outside of the team, except for Seal. I guess Seal is different, but the damage dealers. And that's because, well, outside of Mono Quantum, you're going to probably just use them in hyper carry. But other than that, they're not as flexible as the support characters in the team. So I like all of those benefits that the team brings versus other teams in the game. I mean, you look at the follow-up playstyle, and unfortunately, aside from Jing, you can only really use those characters in the, well, get it, the follow-up team, right? Daniel isn't as flexible as other characters. I mean, he needs to have a team centered around him, right? You need to have supports that are able to give you some more skill points to work with. So when you take your turn, you're always able to use your triple enhanced basic attack. Well, that means his teams are not as flexible. I don't enjoy that in the character, and I understand he brings out big numbers, and for some of you, that is a huge dopamine push. And if that's what you enjoy in Hawkeye Star Rail, then hey, all power to you. I've been there. I've done that. I've used Daniel tons of times. I've used him with E2. I've used him with E0. I've used him with the most greediest supports. I've used him with Yukong, and he hits really freaking hard. Like, extremely hard. It was a huge dopamine rush because I never hit as hard as that with Daniel before. And I'm sure with Sparkle, you'll hit even harder, and you'll have more consistent damage throughout the fight because you have another support to work with. But again, I just don't enjoy that anymore. Or at least I don't think I enjoy it anymore. Now, what does that mean going forward for the future of my account? So I've downsized my account because I obviously want to play other games so I can make videos on other games. It's very hard to play on 2 Honkai Star accounts and then have to make videos on other games and play on those accounts as well. You get burned out really quick and then have to make videos at the same time, right? So I've downsized one of my accounts and I just want to roll for characters I enjoy. The next upcoming character, to be honest, I am thinking about skipping Sparkle altogether. And I know this is a shocker to most of you. The only reason why is because I really want to go all in for Firefly. I think that character is so beautiful, man. Beautiful in the sense of just everything around the character, right? Her persona, her relevance in the story, her significance in the story, her character design. I just love everything about the character. Her writing, I love everything about the character. And I don't think I've ever felt this way about a character in Honkai Star Rail since ever, really. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with characters for the future. But I probably will roll for, Sparkle just to say, hey, I finally completed the Mono Quantum team comp. But if I wasn't a creator, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it, I probably wouldn't have rolled for Spark. I'd have just skipped it, to be honest. I won't be rolling for Acheron. I don't see a point in doing so. I mean, if we're looking at her as a electro lightning damage dealer, I mean, I have Jing, I have Kafka who can do a lightning damage. Aside from that, I'm sure she has a different gimmick compared to them, right? But again, I just don't enjoy pulling for power anymore. That's just not where my head is at. As for leaks going forward, I can't cover leaks anymore. I don't think we ever really covered leaks as aggressive as other creators in the leak sphere, but we definitely have talked about the tip of the iceberg with leaks, right? And I just don't want to do that anymore because I'm potentially ruining my future sponsorship opportunities with, the company, stuff like that, because it's not a good look to have sponsors on leaked videos, right? Or videos going over leaked contents, assets from a big company like Hoyoverse, right? And another thing too is I don't want to lose my channel, honestly, because we've spent so much time building up the channel. I've got the channel to a point where I'm actually able to make the content I want to make and still get, people watching the videos. And I really do enjoy that. And I really do appreciate all of you for watching the videos, despite me not covering, leaks and stuff like that much anymore, right? Or talking about the best character at the time of Honkai Star, right? Right now it's like jingliu still, but with Acheron coming out, probably Acheron. Right? So I really do appreciate that, and I am very, very happy, and that makes me want to make the videos even better going forward. So I'll put more efforts into making the storytelling videos even more well presented and get the message across more clearer, because I do notice a lot of you still have a lot of confusion with how I'm trying to come across with the video itself. And I'm not trying to say a character is bad. No character in this game is bad for the most part. Every character has their use, and every character can be utilized in different ways. That's the beauty of the characters in this game. But to say that one character isn't as good as another character is a little bit naive, right? I mean, again, Hanya is not as good as Ruan Mei, and Ruan Mei replaces Hanya in all of her best teams. And again, I know we are comparing a 4-star to a 5-star, but for the vast majority of players, that's just the way it is, man. They're going to use the better option. Trying to get the video to come across that, but I do just enjoy talking about this, even though I know it may rub a lot of you the wrong way. I just enjoy talking about the journey for characters. I don't expect everyone to get what I'm trying to say here, but for those of you that enjoy the videos, you see where I'm trying to come across, right? But yeah, I know I've been rambling for quite a while now. I just wanted to talk to the camera here and just give you all an update on the channel and everything going forward. I am still making videos on that Genshin channel for those of you that are curious about whether or not I am. I want to push really hard on the storytelling videos on that channel, so I'm working on one currently. It is for Kashing, spoiler alert. So look forward to that when it does get released. As for this channel, I'm currently working on a video for Arlen, which has been very interesting to say the least, because he's a character that has not had much relevance throughout Honkai Star for entirety, right? His only relevance has been in the betas. So it's been a very interesting video to try and make all together, right? So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. That's gonna be the video here. Thank you for watching and have a nice rest of your day. Peace. Oh, let me just say this. I am in the middle of editing the video that you're probably watching currently. And one of the biggest reasons of why I don't want to cover characters like going forward, instead I want to make storytelling videos on the channel more often than covering future releases of characters, is only, and I'll still try to cover them as best as I can, but really it's because I don't have any resources from Hoyoverse to make videos on the characters, right? Like you see a lot of creators in the sphere that are able to make videos on said character as soon as they drop, or even before they drop, to get the videos out. Well, I can't do that because I don't have access to those same tools they have. I'm not in the media server. I'm not in the test servers. So it's very hard for me to compete. Not compete, but to get videos out in general that people will watch, right? So that's kind of why I've deviated away from making videos on characters as soon as they release and stuff like that. I guess the last character we kind of did that for in entirety was Argenti. And aside from that, we haven't did that in a character sense, right? Argenti was fun to talk about, though. I thought he was a very, very interesting character.